What's up, YouTube? Michael back. Guess I should name this channel like the procrastination channel. Ever since COVID hit and they closed all the tracks, I was like, whatever. I'm not really gonna mess with the race car for a little while. And then I did order a bunch of parts in, and then they just been sitting here. And then I bought that jet ski. So I bought like a 2005 Chevy Express van, pulled the motor and transmission, parted it out, sold it, most of it. But so to the good stuff, the parts I ordered. I got a Aerospace Components rear disc brake kit. Now, when I bought my differential, I got a Quick Performance 9-inch, and I opted to run stock brakes. You know, I never really had a reason for aftermarket brakes. Well, since we did some testing, I marked my wheels and my tires. I've noticed that they're slipping. So I went ahead and ordered, or have some double bead locks, Billet Specialties, on order. Just waiting for those to come in. But in the meantime, I've come to find out that you need aftermarket brakes, smaller brakes, to clear the double bead locks. So since I opted for the stock brakes when I ordered my rear end housing, and that came back to bite me in the butt. So nobody makes a aftermarket brake setup that's like direct bolt-in for the small GM axle, apparently. But I was able to reach out to Chuck Burkhart from Burkhart Chassis. That's who I got my front brakes from. And he collaborated with Aerospace Components and the small GM ends on my axle housing, and he was able to come up with a custom kit. So that's what this here is. So I got to install that and see how well that works. And then I did the Carter Motorsport CO2 kit. I got that right here. I mounted the bottle already. As you can see here, the nylon tubing, plastic fittings. I bought another Mac valve. Got a Low Dollar Motorsports 0 to 100 sensor. I'm gonna run that for dome control. And so we'll get to the main problem. So ever since I put this larger engine in the race car, I've had boost creep, incredible boost creep. Like, it just straight runs away from me. It's got 7-pound springs in it, and it makes 23 pounds no matter what. Now, I have one Mac valve on the car, which I was playing with the boost control that way, and whenever I would add boost in the 330, it would overrun that 23 on the big end. So I was boost cutting around 26 pounds. I'm afraid to push my rods harder than 26 pounds, not to mention my injector duty cycles like 111% at 26 pounds. So that's a whole nother issue that I'm going to address, whether it be with a flex sensor or if I altogether just have to go to race gas. I haven't, if I'm going to pickle it or what, I haven't made up my mind on that yet. So one problem at a time. So the reason that I have boost creep is, I believe, and a few of my buddies believe, that it's the position of the gates. And it wasn't a problem on the smaller engine, had no problem controlling boost, but with the extra cubic inches, I believe it's just the exhaust pressure just blowing straight by them, which I guess there's no other way to explain it rather than just show you real quick. Just step over this 80E right here. So the passenger side one's kind of hard to see. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it down in there, but it's bad. But I'll go to the driver's side one so you can really see it. So it's at the end of a bend, and it's almost facing back into the bend. Like, the exhaust gas would have to come out and do more than a 90. Like, it's just stupid. It's not working for me. So I'm going to reposition those or relocate them. I have a general idea of where I'm going to move them to. Kind of sucks. I hate redoing it all, but it also sucks that I can't add any power in the 330. The car did great up in Albany. It's very fast. On low boost, my mile per hour, according to the Dragy, was over 120. So that's pretty good. But my 60 foot was a 166. Also spinning the tire on the bead with a 166 60 foot. So I can only imagine what it would do if I was pulling like 1.4 foots. And it could potentially, you know, come off the bead altogether. So like I said, I got the bead locks on the way. But this COVID deal's got everything messed up. I ordered some TIG welding stuff so I can move the gates, because it's all 304 stainless. So I got this nice Tycon set up. Ordered it off Amazon. It took 22 days to get here, and it was supposed to be prime. I got this plate of 304 stainless. That's what I'm going to use to block off the existing ends where the gates were. So I got a lot of work ahead of me. Like I said, just kind of been procrastinating. Not really looking forward to taking it apart since it's doing good, but I'm leaving a lot on the table. The racetracks are starting to open back up finally. They opened about probably 2 weeks ago in Georgia, but I don't know what they were doing up there. They were wanting to charge $125 for the street side of the track, you know, the big end. No prep, no Christmas tree, no time cards, no nothing. So if you didn't have a Dragy, like, you basically have no idea what your car is doing, if it's good or bad, nothing. No data as far as that goes. But like the following week they dropped it back down on the sticky side, so I assume the no prep side will follow as far as being affordable to go test. You know, like when testing is as expensive as a buy-in for a cash days or a shootout, that just doesn't make sense to me. But take a second and look at this here ski. It's a 2020 Sea-Doo RXTX 300. I've got a couple hours on it now, and I'm already just looking over it. Probably gonna make some mods here. I might make videos on those as well. Definitely a fun toy. So I believe I left off in my last video with the coolant overflow tank. I said I was going to install that. That was probably like 2 months ago. So I need to get that installed too. Stay tuned and we'll get these parts on here.